Hey guys, Basil Wolf from Grayson Hobby, and today we're going to take the crap antenna on the most quads
and change it to a rubber ducky? What? No, we're actually gonna break open a rubber ducky and use the dipole that comes inside them. This is a great mod to do on the Aurora 100 or any of the ultra micro all-in-one cameras like the QX90 has, QX70, E010S, all those micro cameras. Guys, you break the clover leaves and you're like, well, I don't want to replace the whole camera, and you don't want to go out and buy a dipole. Just take your old rubber ducky off your old goggles and stuff and cut it open. And we're gonna mount it up to the. We're gonna use the Aurora 100 in this video,
right,
but we're gonna mount it up to an all-in-one camera.
And also, we're gonna try these new AOMWAY 14 decibel patch antennas to see if the update we have with the dipole has any difference. So here it is. All right. So when I had my Aurora 100, the first thing I did is I put my prop guards on, my new one, I should say. And so when I was putting up my prop guards on, and actually what I want to do, because you have to unscrew from the bottom, is I put it upside down on the bench and broke my solder joint, I guess, off on the antenna. So
keep in mind, that's two. He broke my antenna and then he breaks his. This is broken right here.
Hey, bullshit. You did it.
No! I just soldered it last night, so no, I know it.
So just touching the quad broke it?
Yes.
So
just for the record.
Instead of putting another crappy antenna on, I wanted to take the idea from Will, which he did on his, from the couple videos we had in the past, and show me how to install the dipole from the rubber ducky. I didn't believe it, and from the results of the video you're about to see, is it works really good, if not better.
Yeah, you don't need anything fancy. You
right,
can just take an old, the old dipole antennas that come with most of these basic
right,
goggles and stuff like that.
Now, I know people are going to say, well, this one's round, the circular polarized, it's going to be better than, because this is actually, we're going...
In theory, yes.
We're actually going opposite.
Yeah, we're going to dipole. With a lot of these micro quads,
right,
it's not as big of a deal.
Right. I wouldn't have really believed it would be a good upgrade, or upgrade if you want to call it that. But the Baby Hawk has a dipole antenna, and I fly that thing everywhere and have no problems with it.
Yeah.
And so I don't really think for this particular platform, for where you fly it, it's really going to matter.
I think in this case with the Aurora 100, I really think they should have included the carbon guards like they originally talked about it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The Aurora 68, the Aurora 90, even with the guard, I've managed to crack the circular polarized antenna right below the little, where the three posts are soldered together. There's a little tiny part. I've broken that off on a lot of these micros, and actually I've gotten a lot of customers that send me emails on the QX90 and all that, saying, hey, I'm getting really bad noise in my video when I'm flying, what's going on? And it's when the vibration transfer, it's just that antenna touching, not touching, touching, not touching.
Okay.
And then what happens is your video kind of goes to crap, even though it shouldn't be, because it's circular polarized. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, it turns out after it's not as durable. And something like this, these are meant to fly. These are meant to bash and have fun. Yeah. That's part of the racing quads, is the crashing, I think. Yeah. For some people, it's more than others. But
hell, I broke more quads just getting them ready for it. I've actually broke more quads on the bench than I have flying.
In reality, though, yes, the cloverleaf is a good idea, but you'll see companies like Emax with the Baby Hawk, like you're talking about, they actually went from a cloverleaf to a dipole for durability reasons, because if you cartwheel, it's bound to hit the antenna no matter what you do. So it's just one less thing to have to really worry about at the end of the day, is the antenna being the rubber ducky one.
Right. Now, keep in mind that we have no scientific electronic equipment. We can't test the noise, frequency, whatever that is. We are basically soldered on and fly. If that works, it's good enough for me.
Yeah. This is one of those things to where you don't have to spend $30 on a new camera because you broke your antenna. This is just something.
It's an antenna hack, basically.
Yeah, it's for multiple quads. So, but we're just showing on the Aurora 100 thanks to somebody sacrificing their antenna.
So you can take something. You can take something you're going to throw away and actually turn it into a very useful antenna. So stay tuned.
The solder on here is the center one. You still got that little bit of plastic between, so it's separated. And then it's soldered to the inner spot here. And then I twisted the wires on this side. You can do it like a pigtail almost, to where it's on both sides if you want. I just went ahead and did the one side, and then I looped it over the other one. I figured that way, worst case scenario, if I'm a really nasty crash, if I break it off, I got a chance of using the other side again.
Gotcha.
So I like leaving a little bit on one side and mainly do it on the other. But that gets it there. From there, I mean, you can't really hot glue over this because it gets so hot, but if you have liquid electrical tape, you can put a blob around it, kind of beef it up a little bit. So we're gonna take our leftover rubber ducky from 007 goggle, anything laying around, any Fat Shark stuff, something like that. Basically just kind of pry it apart, get your dipole. There's a, basically that's the dipole right there.
Wait, hold on, I didn't even see that. So you just pull this right off?
Yeah, some of them are glued, but usually they're just little grooves and you just kind of twist it off and pull it off.
Okay.
And then we're gonna take this, and I'm gonna start longer for this, just in case I screw up so I can cut it down. But basically, this is what we're gonna be using. Go ahead and take this camera out while we're at it.
Those work on any quad with a broken antenna, right?
Actually, you could do it with the QX90C. I mean, any of these little all-in-one cameras, you're using pretty much the same antenna mount. So if you wanna change any of those to a dipole, which, especially if you're flying inside, doesn't really matter. It's nice to have a little more durable than a cloverleaf.
So you're gonna get less range, but it's more durable, right?
You may get a little more video breakup, but not bad. I mean, I fly with dipoles on most of my micros now, so. All right, so we got the camera mount out. So what we're gonna be soldering on is gonna be this area here. You can see this antenna been broken off. We got, this is the ground plane here, and then here, and then this is where the inner wire is gonna be. So we're gonna need to solder the inner wire to that and the outer wire to that. Soldering we're gonna do is the ground right here. This is ground, that's gonna be the outer coax cable, and then the inner the wire from the cable is gonna be down in this middle area here. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna desolder and clean that up a little bit, and then get it ready. I'm just gonna take the iron, clean this stuff off here. Just get rid of what's left of the old antenna. All right. Ah, this thing's flying all over the place. Let me get a helping hand in a second.
There's my helping hand.
See that you got the inner wire here that we cut it to. Then you got the little sleeve here, and then the outer coax, and then this is the still sheeted with the tubing on the outside. So we got that, right? So the next step is to tin it. I'm just gonna get some flux on that.
Put some tin on there, solder on your tip.
All right, so now we got the tinned outer part and then the inner part. I got it here, and it's just gonna basically solder up like that. You guys see that? So it's gonna overlap like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm a little shaky today.
So this is precision soldering. This isn't a
yeah, this is
big blob.
This is not really for the faint of heart, because if you end up grounding those wires together, you're gonna have to clean it up. And
when you grind, I mean just let too much solder.
If
right?
the solder if the solder flows from the two things, you're gonna have to redo it. Yeah.
Right? So is there any way you can test for that?
Well, kind of just look at it in this case, because there is a gap.
So you just do a visual inspection.
It's really close, but it is still got a gap. So I got the center one down, I got this one across, and then the exposed portion, I want to actually bridge it across just to strengthen it. So I'm going to flow some solder on this side. I just like to put, because we're got the carbon and all that, so it doesn't rest on it, I usually just put a little sleeve shrink tube, plus it looks a little better in my opinion, and then just shrink it over it.
All right, so while he's messing around with that, we kind of gonna do a two-part review here. We got the new Eachine EV800 with the DVR, and it comes with this antenna right here. And we also got these new AOMWAY antennas. You can see the size difference is pretty significant. So while we're doing the test of the new antenna on the one we just installed on the Aurora 100, we're also gonna try out this new antenna from the AOMWAY. It's a 5 gig, 14 dBi. What does that stand for, dBi? Decibels or something?
Yeah.
All right. I have no idea what this one is, but this is actually pretty cool. It has diversity. So we will see how the range difference is. We're going to give 2 flights, and we're going to record it with the DVR in here and see the good upgraded antenna versus the stock antenna. Okay, so now if you notice, it says Grayson Hobby, put it in the horror mode. Put it. Now we're Grayson Hobby horror mode. No breakup yet. Unbelievable. Holy cow. Perfect.
Yours is out of the box, isn't it?
Yeah. Now this is the Aurora 100 is mine. I crashed it. Actually, I didn't even crash it. The antenna came off the first flight.
Trees. I've got a little breakup on my antenna there. I don't know how you got. I'm going around.
Mine, I haven't broke up once yet.
All right. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of static right there.
Yeah, I got a static, but it's not like.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's not really breakup.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go around these trees where.
Yes, mine's stock. And believe it or not, my antenna came off mid-flight. I think it's because I screwed up with putting the tie wrap over it.
Well, you know, one thing I see is when guys got it upside down, and they're kind of leaning on the table when they're putting the prop guards on. They tend to put a lot of pressure on the antenna, and it can crack the solder joint. Yeah, but mine actually came off mid-flight. Luckily, I was able to figure out where it was at. So I haven't had any breakup at all. So what we're going to do, we're going to have 2 packs. The first pack on the DVR is going to be this big antenna. And then the second flight will be the, let's go, I want to go somewhere far, but not like dangerous. Now, next flight, let's switch, you can switch this antenna. Alright, so let me land before the battery's dead.
Alright.
There was a pole there, did you see that?
I saw it, yeah. The thing about this new goggle, the Eachine EV800, is it's not the RPSMA as all the other ones are. This is the new SMA, which is the same as Fat Shark. That's why it's pretty cool, because we can switch the antenna without having any kind of...
Yeah, traditionally Eachine's been RPSMA.
Eachine's RPSMA, which is the red one, but now they've changed to the SMA, which is the blue one. So, but the DRT2s are red, so you gotta just read up. So basically, all the Eachines are red, and then this one's blue. How about that? And see if it... Flight 2. So far, I don't really see a big difference. Oh yeah, I see a difference. When you're over in the
I'm not getting the breakup around the tree.
When you're over on the far left-hand side, there's breakup. Before, I didn't get breakup at all.
I'm gonna stay easy on the throttle so I don't kill this battery that quick. So just kind of cruising now.
Yeah, right. Breakup right there above those trees.
I didn't.
Really? This is pretty cool. So again, this is not a scientific test. The antenna, we didn't measure anything on it.
This is a patch. It's more for distance, not for peripheral. So really, the patch is strongest where I'm hovering right now, which is directly in front of us.
That's where I pretty much fly, is in front of me.
Yeah. So if you're flying out of field and you're like in the corner of the field or anything, it's great. But if you're flying around yourself in a small parking lot and all that, you may actually be better off with circular polarized and possibly even a rubber ducky.
Yeah. So anyways, we did the...
Not an actual rubber ducky. Dipole antenna.
The one we just took apart.
Yeah.
Oh, so
it is yelling at me to land. So get the flash in my timer.
So you like the antenna better?
I mean, realistically, between this and circular polarized, or are you talking about on the quad?
No, the big one.
Oh, it seems like it's a little better behind the tree over here. Not getting like any noise. I don't see my goggle switching. This goggle, when the diversity switches, you get a little bit of like a rolling noise on the screen.
Mine's been in diversity the whole. Actually, mine's been in diversity the whole time as well.
Dead, and I just fell out of the sky because the battery died.
All right, guys. So there you have it. There is our antenna hack that Will has showed us because I keep breaking antennas on my quads.
Well, I break them too. That's why I replaced.
So comment below and tell us what you think. If this is a good idea, if this is a horrible idea, or if we're going to end up causing a nuclear meltdown in some power plant that's going by because we have an antenna that's leaking.
I think I don't know why I'm talking. Yeah. Why am I talking? I'm just rambling. I got to fly. It was fun. I didn't break anything today. So I didn't break anything.
He didn't break any of his. My stuff broke.
I didn't break. Okay, maybe not.